Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of your OGR, baby, as today is game 26, as the Edmonton Oilers went up against the Calgary Flames in a greasy, hard-fought matchup between these two teams in an actual Battle of Alberta. The other three, those don't matter, they didn't even really count. This is where it all mattered the most, and this was where the most entertaining hockey really was. This game, I gotta say, was one of the tightest games I've seen in a while. It was entertaining from the start to finish. This game was everything that I wanted to see as an Oilers fan. Of course, we weren't really winning right off the get-go in the game. Of course, we were down 1-0. Let's jump already into reviewing this game, because there was a decent amount of positives with the Edmonton Oilers game. I mean, we definitely did have a pretty rough first period as we were getting outshot massively by a crap ton, 21-10 in the first period. And that was just the fact that Calgary was shooting everything. They got in the zone and they peppered shots on Mike Smith. And I think that was with Ryan Huska's plan. It's just get everything on the net in the first period. And then it kind of toned down throughout the game. But the first period, Calgary was dominating. They every time we broke in, they were able to have like a really quick transition game. And it was a really nice hockey game. It was a really nice transition game down to the Oilers zone. They got a couple good chances, and then it was all the way back down the ice. It was really fun back and forth hockey, honestly, and it was a lot of fun. Now, I also want to talk about the late scratches in the game. Josh Archibald was scratched. I'm most likely thinking it was an injury. There was no way that Dave Tippett would ever scratch Josh Archibald. Now, maybe I'm wrong. And also, Tyler Ennis is scratched as well. People were thinking he was maybe injured too. There's really no information on those types of players, though, but I'm guessing that it is some sort of an injury between those two guys, because they do play a more of a physical game. So of course Turris and Devon Shore, which we'll get into that lineup later on, and we'll talk about why that was sort of our worst lineup throughout the night. So let's get on. First period, Johnny Gaudreau with a huge power play goal. Now in the first period, they did a great job of pissing us off. There was two fights, Lucic and Nurse, and then Tkachuk and Neal. They were really entertaining fights. Sure, did the Calgary Flames players kick our ass in the fight department? Yeah, without a doubt. We don't have a lot of big tough guys out in that fighting unit right now, right? We don't have Cassie in the lineup. Josh Archibald's not in the lineup. Not like he fights anyways, but we didn't really have a lot of bruiserweights in the lineup that were going to be able to take on those types of guys. And then, Leon Draisaitl took a really bad slashing penalty near the end there that really, costed us that goal that Johnny Gaudreau scored. Johnny Gaudreau shouldn't have scored this goal. It shouldn't have been a penalty for Leon Draisaitl. It was a dumb one. He was really just buying into their crap, and Johnny Gaudreau with a beautiful one-timer goal. He got his 10th of the season. And in the second period, Mr. Puljujarvi, who puts a smile on my face every time I say this man's name, because Puljujarvi is just an absolute gorgeous man. Puljujarvi got out there right quick. It was a nice shot up from the point from Chris Russell. It got like a nice little rebound there on Jacob Markstrom, wide open for Jesse Puljujarvi, and he shoveled it right on in there, and we tied up the game at 1. I was a little worried that we weren't actually able to score any goals. It felt like, we were still having that drought for the Toronto Maple Leafs game, which it did look like that. We were getting shots on the net. We were getting some really good opportunities, but we weren't capitalizing on anything. We weren't finishing it. We weren't able to actually get any goals in the back of the net. And give kudos to Jacob Markstrom. He was absolutely red hot for the Calgary Flames all night long. But, Puljujarvi ruined that party, baby. The pool party, baby! And then in the third period, Noah Hanifin gets a big one from the point, and I'm like, but this is not it from the Edmonton Oilers yet, though. That's point shot from Noah Hanifin. It just squeaked right through the 5-hole of Mike Smith. He was a little screened. He couldn't see where that puck was going. And then Kailer Yamamoto on that newly united first line, which we're going to get into later on. But the Draisaitl McDavid Yamamoto line got a big goal as he got his 6th of the season. It was a really nice pass from Draisaitl, too. He legit just, tucked it. And then it got all the way to Yamamoto, wide open net, because Jacob Markstrom wasn't expecting that pass. It was beautiful. And then Connor McDavid with a little dash down the wing, fucking threw it at the net and went right in the back of the net. Oh my lord, that was the most gorgeous goal I think I've seen in a long time. It went right out the post and in. McDavid went to the bench and was like, right in front of the Calgary Flames. And oh man, that just got me pumped up. And I think that got the Edmonton Oilers pumped up as well, because this was a big time victory that we needed. We needed to beat Calgary, so when we go off to Ottawa, we can have momentum. I mean, Ottawa, you never know, right? You never know. And I mean, they tied up they split the series there with the Calgary Flames. But I think I'm pretty excited to go up against Ottawa now, have some fun games, and see Tim Stützle and hopefully get some big W's for the Edmonton Oilers as well. But this game, I know that they're going to be keeping the McDavid, Draisaitl, Yamamoto line, I don't know why it's the reluctancy to, not put the dry line together. Tippett was saying that we need to have diversity along our lineup, right? And putting the dry line together just makes it too stacked. Then why are we throwing McDavid alongside Draisaitl and Yamamoto? That's like the most stacked first line I've ever seen in my life. But your reluctancy to put Nuge, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto together is baffling, bro. It is absolutely baffling how incompetent our coaching is this year. I was really liking Dave Tippett, and I've been doing a little bit more research, and I've been saying that he really can't coach superstars because that's what it feels like. He just doesn't know how to coach superstars. He was a great coach there in Arizona, but a lot of the times, he wasn't coaching any All-Stars. He was coaching a bunch of players that were just tweeners, right? His only big player was Shane Doan at the time there in Arizona. So I don't think he's not a good enough coach for this team, and he's not getting the full worth of it either, because that Draisaitl line would be absolutely perfect. I think it would be one of our best lines on the team, quite literally, and I think it would be, and I don't know why he's not putting it together. Now, yes, when you put Draisaitl and McDavid, they do some magic stuff, which is what they did tonight, and McDavid put up 3 points, but I don't think it's going to last for very long. The second line between Nuge, Cahoon, and Puljujarvi, I don't think they did too bad either, but I don't think they're going to generate enough offense to carry the rest of the team. If you're really going to be relying on that first line, that's a heavy first line there, Dave Tippett, and you're eating your own words for saying that, yeah, I don't want to build a stacked first line. You just did. Having Draisaitl and McDavid is better for the team, and having that dry line, I think, would be way better for the team. And having McDavid alongside of Puljujarvi, they've been really generating some momentum alongside of each other, and I think you got to keep those two guys alongside of each other moving forward, because honestly, that's the way you go. Cahoon, McDavid, Puljujarvi is what I would do, or even maybe get Rickard Rakell, which is a lot of people have been talking about bringing in. But I really I like the line between McDavid and Draisaitl. It's always exciting to see those two guys together, but in the end, it's not efficient for the Edmonton Oilers, and it's not going to make us go very far if we're going to have that one line. It's not going to go very far if we have to face the Toronto Maple Leafs, or maybe just any other team that could actually play very well defensively, which the Calgary Flames did great up until the last parts of the game where they really started picking them apart. Also, Kyle Turris, man, oh my god, did he ever get laid out last night by Christopher Tanev? My lord, he got fucking smoked. He really did, and I gotta say, the confidence of Kyle Turris, man, I hate the guy out there. I'm not a big fan. The Shore, Jujar, and Turris line, they did generate some momentum at some moments of time, and I would say that there was some glimpses of like, oh yeah, here's Turris, he looks really nice, and then there's a turnover, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Kyle Turris for you, and then he just like, I'm not a big fan of Kyle Turris, I never have been, but the Haas, Neal, and Chason line, I actually didn't mind that. I felt like they generate some good offense. Their expected goals, I think, was 100% by a thing that I was seeing for analytics, so I don't think they had a bad night. I think Neal is definitely someone you keep in the lineup. But once again, I gotta talk about Tippett using Chason on the power play. I don't understand this philosophy, and I talk about it almost every episode because this is something I want to talk about every episode because it makes no sense to me. Even though, yes, we do win games, we didn't score any goals in the power play, but yet we still throw Neal or Chason on that top power play unit. Glenn Gulutzan, our whole coaching staff, I know what worked last year is not working this year, and we got to change it up. You know, the where we take Barry and then Barry looks for the back pass has not been working for the team. Teams have been predicting that play, and Barry still does it, which absolutely baffles me, you know? Like, he's skating up, and then he's about to do a backwards pass, and then he sees that someone's there, so he waits, and then, like, still does it and turns it over. it makes no sense to me, and I think Barry's very incompetent on the power play. There's some moments at times where I'm like, oh, well, yeah, he had 8 shots last night, Tyson Barrie. He was red hot on the shot department, but no points for the guy. I think he's trying to get a point or a goal or something. I don't know what he's trying to do, but this game, to me, I gotta say, we need to have better coaching, and I don't know why Tippett loves using the veterans so much, because this Edmonton Oilers team is a very young team. It really is. You take a look at our depth chart, we have a very, very young team, and we could be utilizing these young guys a lot more. Puljujärvi only getting 39 seconds of power play time, and I think that's with the second unit or just coming out there in the later half of that power play or the couple seconds left. I think you should be playing up on that top unit. Or even Yamamoto. I think either of those guys would be better on that power play without a doubt. And I think we would generate a lot more goals. Puljujärvi showed it. He showed that he could score power play goals. But for some reason, he decides to still throw on Chase out on there. Makes no sense to me. I think Tippett's just, like I said before on Twitter, I'm not been impressed. He did throw Baron Jones in tonight's game, which I was very happy with, but he did throw in Chris Russell alongside of Larson. And that defensive pairing is still having problems getting the puck out of their own zone. I wouldn't say that they're the worst defensive crew in the world, but you could definitely put somebody better alongside of Adam Larson. I know Adam Larson. I love Chris Russell. I used to, but, you know, he's getting older. He's not what he used to be. He could play a great defensive game at some moments of the time, but you ask him to touch that puck, and, I mean, he had 2 assists last night, but, I mean, he's not the ideal top 4 defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers. Baron Jones, I think they did good. Same with Nurse, he got into a big fight, and Barrie, you know, it's Barry. He still gets trampled. Excuse me. Still gets trampled over. Same old crap with him. But honestly, a good game by the Edmonton Oilers. You know, I was a little scared by the depth, and you know, we didn't get any depth scoring by this game, and our depth definitely looked really weak in this game, to say the least. With the Shore, Kara, and Turris line scared the crap out of me when you see Archibald and Ennis out of the lineup. So I hope to see those guys back in the lineup here soon. I hope to see Zach Kassian back in the lineup too. I've been missing that guy as well. I know at the start of the season he really wasn't getting going, but he you know, right when he was in that Battle of Alberta game, or in that Ottawa game, I mean, where he kind of, like, I don't know what happened to his hand, or broke his hand or something. When he was starting to get some momentum underneath of him, of course he got injured, and I'm just excited to see him back in the lineup. Gives us some more diversity in the lineup if we need to throw him up to, you know, get some more physicality going. Kassian could be that guy, so I'm really missing him in the lineup. I hope to see him back, and I hope to see our team back at full bill of health. We're going to have a busy week. Especially for me, for my life, and for schooling and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys on the other side on Tuesday for the next OGR. I will not be doing any live streams this week, sadly. Sad face. I'm going to be super busy this week. I won't be able to do any play-by-play. Yesterday I got canceled because of some personal reasons. You guys can check out my Twitter. I'll be making an announcement up on there why I took yesterday off. And everything like that. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Adios, amigos.